going to take the privilege of being chair to pose a final question to both of you. We are going over time, but we have officials coming at 6:45, so I'm eating it a little bit into your break. I apologize. We haven't talked much today about the Global Compact for Refugees. It's a compact. It's not a convention. It was hailed as, a set of promising practices that nation states would coalesce around. Have you actually seen any of that promise being realized? Let me go first to Mr. Frelick and give the closing comment on this to Mr. Lloyd Axworthy.
We've not seen the Global Compact on Refugees as being a particularly useful instrument, just to be frank about it. And ironically, and somewhat to our surprise, we've actually found the Global Compact on Safe, Orderly, and Regular Migration to be the compact that had, a list of objectives, very clear objectives, having to do with migrant detention, for example, and ending immigration detention, and starting, of course, with the detention of children, which is something that this committee is greatly concerned about. So we've actually found the benchmarks of the Global Compact on Migration from a human rights perspective to be one that we find a better measuring stick to hold governments accountable. But that also, I think, reflects that we're a human rights organization. I think a humanitarian organization that's dealing with, equitable responsibility sharing would read it differently. But there again, I think one of the problems is it's not binding, as you said. So whatever responsibility sharing is a coalition of the willing, so to speak. And for us, it's words on paper, but until governments step forward, we haven't found it to be particularly useful, just to be frank about it.
Mr. Axworthy?
Our council was a direct product of the discussions of the UN. We were given a mandate to try to provide more practical, kind of workable, common sense solutions, because we know that large international statements of intent and purpose and values are very important catalysts, but don't actually sometimes have the teeth to grab in. And so we use that really as our lodestone. But I agree that I think that it hasn't had the kind of repercussions or consequences. And I hate to do this or sound this way. It goes back because there's just been no political leadership at the UN by any country to bring it forward and hold it to account and dangle it in the face of the Secretary General and of certain countries to say, hey, wait a minute, here's commitments you made, and to go back, whether it's naming and shaming or whether it's providing resolutions. But it's just kind of it's there like you buy an old picture and you put it in the wall and you never look at it again. I think that's been our problem. I mean, politics has a lot to do with this issue. And we always talk about political will. Political will is a nice word to camouflage having to do the hard work of mobilizing and organizing a political effort to get something done. And I still think that is, in fact, what I said in my opening remarks, there's a regression taking place rather than a progression. And I think that it may be, you want to take a little sort of a PR kick, maybe it's time for a Global Compact 2.0 and say to our own UN representatives, go to work on it. And if you want to run for a seat in the Security Council, run on something pragmatic and clear like that rather than simply saying that we want to be there because we're nice guys.
Thank you very much to both our witnesses. This has been a fascinating